as we wait eagerly for our adoption to sonship, the redemption of our bodies. For in this hope we are saved. But in hope that is seen is no hope at all. Who hopes for what they already have? But if we hope for what we don't have yet, we wait for it patiently. And from Revelation chapter 21 and the first 5 verses there. Then I saw a new heaven and a new earth. For the first heaven and the first earth had passed away, and there was no longer any sea. I saw the holy city, the new Jerusalem, coming down out of heaven from God, prepared as a bride, beautifully dressed for her husband. And I heard a loud voice from the throne saying, "Look, God's dwelling place is now among the people, and he will dwell with them. They will be his people, and God himself will be with them and be their God. He will wipe away every tear from their eyes. There will be no more death, or mourning, or crying, or pain. For the old order of things has passed away." He who was seated on the throne said, "I am making everything new." Then he said, "Write this down, for these words are trustworthy and true."
If you had the opportunity to start something all over again, to make it from scratch, would you take it? I think pretty much we would, eh? We would take that opportunity. If we had the chance to, kind of get it right, perhaps. I believe Rembrandt used to do this. Sometimes get halfway through a painting and scratch it all away because it wasn't good enough. Take out a scraper, scrape it off, and paint something else. And they found this out as they've looked through X-rays and found that there are other things underneath the masterpieces. But you see, they weren't a masterpiece to him. He wanted something better. He wanted to complete what was in his mind, really rightly there, and get it completely right. Artists among you will understand that. Or here's one that's maybe more down to earth for the Thursday group of crafters. If you are knitting away but lose count, or do the wrong stitch. I don't really know how knitting works. Is that right? Am I correct to talk that way? Okay, you do that every week. And what happens then is, I believe with knitting, what you can do is you can undo it. You just pull it out. And lo and behold, you're back to where you started. And you can go at it again. And this time, get it right. And what we're looking at today is God who promises to have another go at everything, not because he has got it wrong, but because we have so messed it up. Now, look around you. You can see the world. We don't have to look too far. And if we look further away, we can see that mess big time. Now, God puts things right, not by crushing it and throwing it away into the garbage. But the scriptures tell us that God puts things right by remaking it. And that's kind of at the core of what resurrection is about. Resurrection is not the disposal of our bodies, but the remaking of us, a truer self, a better self, a more real person than we'd ever be. in this body that we have just now, which every day is on a countdown, isn't it, to the inevitable decline. God's remaking is not in discontinuity, but continuity. Not without us, but with us, very much part of that. So as we look at that, and we just got to do it real quick because we've got a lot of things to fit in today. I think, first of all, I want us to think about before and after. And that's really that passage in Romans chapter 8. Focuses on the before and after. I like those before and after pictures, when they're trying to sell you something. Before, this is what you were. Now, you can be like this. You take a wonderful medication or do some amazing exercises. Before and after is kind of important. And the Apostle Paul here in Romans 8 gives us some befores and afters. So he says, look at these befores and afters. But he qualifies this right at the beginning. He says, do you know what? I'm going to give you some befores and afters, but they're not worth the comparison. We can't even begin to compare the after with the before. The after so exceeds the before that you can't even begin to get your head around it. That's what he's saying. It's not worth comparing our present sufferings, and we have those, with the glory that is to be revealed in us. These resurrection bodies are going to be amazing. We're not even going to think about the present sufferings. And then he also compares creation, and he says creation at the moment is subject to frustration. It is in a bondage to decay. But it's going to be liberated. It's going to be brought into the freedom and glory of the children of God. Friends, this is the true answer to the world's environmental crisis. Yes, we should do everything we can to sort things out and to look after the world around us. But in the end, this is the answer that creation longs for. It's subject to frustration. It's in bondage, and it will be liberated and brought into freedom and glory of the children of God. So for that reason, verse 22, it tells us that the whole creation has been groaning as in the pains of childbirth up until now. A kind of a sense of going through something that's a bit traumatic towards a good end, towards the expected end of joy and of good things coming. Meantime, so that's the before and after. But meantime, we wait. It's painful waiting, like those labor pains many of you have experienced here, not me. Hopeful, but painful. We wait. We wait for the adoption to sonship. And Paul's not being sexist or made some category error we might think of today, because what he is saying is we wait for our adoption into the sonship that is the right of Jesus himself. Jesus the Son allows all of us, male and female and anyone, all of us to come into the adoption of sonship that is Christ's by right. So we are allowed to be known as God's heirs. We're allowed to have all the privileges that go with that. We're allowed to know the complete love of our Heavenly Father, who says, "This is my beloved Son," to Jesus. And then says the same thing to each of us. My beloved children, welcome. We are adopted in Christ, but that is not yet complete. That if we know Jesus, if we follow him, if we believe in him, if we trust in him, we are adopted. but we haven't known the fullness of that adoption just yet. It's not yet complete. It's kind of on its way. The redemption of soul and spirit and mind, that's all happening. We can know that right now. We can know what it means to have a redeemed mind, a redeemed soul, a redeemed spirit, but we don't yet know the fullness of what it means to have a redeemed body. We don't. Our bodies are subject to aging, and the impact of this world so firmly has on it. The redemption of the body is to come. So we hope for what we do not yet see, but is promised. You can count on the promises God makes. Everything will be sorted. God doesn't want to just redeem our minds and our souls and our spirits. He wants to redeem our bodies. He wants all of his creation to be redeemed and renewed. Everything can be sorted. Nothing is left behind. This is the freedom of the glory of the children of God. So, now the third step. Look what's coming. There's a new heavens, and here we turn to Revelation 21. There's a new heavens and a new earth, a renewed created order. I saw it, says John in his vision here in Revelation. I saw a new heavens and a new earth, this renewed created order. A new Jerusalem, a holy city. Jerusalem has got many problems in the current day. Not least that it's a terribly divided city. But Jerusalem stands in the scriptures as a connecting point between heaven and earth. It is a place where the divine and the earthly meet in terms of symbolism. And now the old Jerusalem, it doesn't count for anything. It doesn't count for what it needs. It doesn't count for those things. Instead, there's a new Jerusalem, a new connecting point between heaven and earth. And that connecting point does not grow from the earth upwards. It comes down from the heavens downwards. A new Jerusalem coming down out of heaven from God, prepared as a bride beautifully dressed for her husband. It's shiny, it's beautiful, it's a symbol of authority, of governance and rule. The city, the heavenly city, a place of order. God dwelling with us, verse 3. I heard a loud voice, look, God's dwelling place is now among the people. Does that make you remember something? Do you remember one of the names that Jesus is given in the Christmas story? Emmanuel. God with us is what that word means. And now God really does take up residence on earth in the heavenly city. We are his people. He is our God. His home is among mortals. And this has a dramatic impact on the world as we know it. Lots of things begin to occur. Lots of things start to happen. Look what's coming. Tears are gone, wiped away by God himself. Death is gone. Mourning is gone. Crying is gone. Pain is gone. The old order of things is gone. Even the sea is no more. And you think, why? Why is there no sea? I quite like the sea. I love to go down to Aberdeen and walk along the prom and look out. I enjoy running there. I enjoy walking there. I enjoy looking at it. I find it a restful place. So why is there an absence of sea? Well, in terms of, again, what that stands for in terms of figuratively in the scriptures, the sea stands for chaos, a place which we can't control, a place that also separates us. So in both of these things, there isn't anything that separates peoples from peoples, places from places. There's not those things that separate us. And there is no place of chaos. Everything has an order. There are no limits and boundaries in the new heavens and the new earth. And so fourthly, the old order of things is gone. The old order of things is gone. Look, says the one seated on the throne, I am making all things new. Verse 5 of Revelation 21. The one seated on the throne. I love this. And it's important for us to get our heads around it. God is not scurrying around trying to fix everything and frantically trying to keep the operation going. He's not hard at work through creation. God is seated on a throne. He is in a place of authority, and it is absolutely calm. It is absolutely ordered. It is absolutely settled. It is absolutely peaceful. The throne is not empty. There is authority on the throne. And that authority has the power to do what has been promised. The orders and the proclamations of the throne matter. And this proclamation is made by the one seated on the throne. I am making everything new. I want you to notice that this is in the present continuous. I am making, not have made, not will do. I am making everything new. God is making it in this moment of recreation. He's not expecting it to end, but to keep on going. And the excitement of this, the expectation of this, is that this continues to work its way out. Like when you throw a stone into a pond and the rings move outwards and capture everything. This is what is going on. I am making everything new. Something that begins to have these impacts working their way out into the wider world. It's an impact that we will feel. I wonder if some of you are Lord of the Rings fans like me. I've recently been listening to it as a talking book again. I've really enjoyed it. And I was really struck by one of the things Tolkien has Sam Gamgee say. Some of you know who I'm talking about. Others of you are just like, what is he going on about? When Sam is recovering in Ithilien, he says, and he comes to, he says, Gandalf, I thought you were dead. But then I thought I was dead myself. Is everything sad going to come untrue? What's happening with the world? And I thought it's a great commentary on exactly what's going on here in Revelation and what we will experience. One day we will open our eyes in the presence of God revealed to us in glory. We'll come into the expectation of the glory that's to be revealed in the children of God. We'll open our eyes and we will say, I thought I was dead myself. Is everything sad going to come untrue? What is happening with the world? Because it will indeed be glorious. There's going to be an impact on the environment. There's going to be an impact on the animal kingdom. There's going to be an impact on politics, on economics, on the creative arts, on the social order. But my friends, most of all, here's the thing to hold on to. There's going to be an impact on me and you that is profound, that is unbelievable. And it's all because of Jesus. It's all because of what he's done and what we're about to step into and celebrate together. We'll wake up every day in that new creation, feeling not a little less, not diminished, not older in any sense, not less able, but we will feel like we can do more, that we can see more, that we can experience more, that we can enjoy more. And that's the invitation that Jesus gives to you and to me through his life, his death, and what we celebrate here at this table, his resurrection, until he comes again. Katrina.
You get the picture? Sometimes our life can feel like this pot. Cracked, chipped, broken. We carry regret, pain, mistakes, and grief. But as I told the young folk, God doesn't throw broken things away. In Jesus, God gathers the pieces and makes something beautiful again. We're going to sing just now a lovely song. And as you sing it, listen to the words. Listen to how God looks at us with eyes of love. Let's stand and let's sing Broken Vessels.